This is our second video for the discussion on prelims. So पहले हमने क्या सोचा था, हमने ये सोचा था कि हम वीकेंड पर एक बार वीडियो डाल देंगे wherein we will put like we'll aggregate all the facts and put it. We'll have a discussion of all these facts and put it in one video once a week. But then we thought that will become very bulky and it will become difficult to even revise it. तो हमने क्या सोचा कि हम रोज थोड़े थोड़े फैक्ट्स जो है यहाँ पर डिस्कस करेंगे फ्रॉम द प्रीलिम्स पर्सपेक्टिव. ऑलमोस्ट डेली विल ट्राई एंड कम अप विद इट so as to cover at least 8 to 10 important facts for prelims in one video. ठीक है, ज्यादा लंबा भी नहीं रखेंगे वीडियो फॉर बिकॉज फिर हमें देयर आर अदर थिंग्स टू आल्सो डू, द मेंस डिस्कशंस दैट वी आर हैविंग. So max to max 10 topics we will keep in one video for prelims. 10 facts, quick, we'll go through them quickly. ठीक है, next आज के लिए the first one is this OSIRIS-REx mission. ठीक है, ये this is a mission by NASA. NASA launched this OSIRIS-REx spacecraft. बस इतना ही जानना है कि this is by NASA. इसका काम क्या होगा? इसका काम होगा to study an asteroid near Earth जिसका नाम है बेनू. एंड फिर ये यहाँ से एक सैंपल लेके आएगा बैक टू अर्थ. ठीक है, इट विल ब्रिंग द सैंपल बैक टू अर्थ फ्रॉम दिस एस्ट्रॉइड बेनू. सो रिमेंबर दिस OSIRIS-REx spacecraft by NASA. So something very basic. This is something from the NCERTs. It's good to recall the meaning of an asteroid. Asteroids क्या होते हैं? Asteroids are basically small rocky objects that orbit the sun. So asteroids are small objects that orbit the sun, but they are smaller than a planet. So ये size का order ये है कि a meteoroid is smaller than an asteroid and an asteroid is smaller than a planet. Meteorite क्या होता है? So actually speaking, asteroid जो है ये होता है and then there is a planet which is bigger, meteoroid is smaller. Meteoroid जो है it is a small part of an asteroid. Asteroid का एक part होता है meteoroid. अब जब ये एक meteoroid that is outer space में जब ये होता है, so it is meteoroid, but जब when this meteoroid enters the Earth's atmosphere then and it survives the trip to the Earth's surface, then it is called a meteorite. क्या होता है मीटियोरॉइड या कोई भी रॉकी ऑब्जेक्ट जब अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर को एंटर करता है देन इट हैज टू फेस वेरियस फैक्टर्स सच एज फ्रिक्शन, pressure, chemical interactions in the atmosphere, and then it gets heated up and radiates in that. So then it burns up and तो जब वो burn up हो जाता है and then it flies across the sky, then it is called a meteor. But if this object survives, if part of this object survives and reaches the Earth's surface, then it is called a meteorite. So ये basically it's very basic. It's from the basic NCERTs में ही पता चल जाएगा आपको कि ये अगर एस्ट्रॉइड है that is bigger, अगर एस्ट्रॉइड का कोई उसका छोटा सा पार्ट है that is a meteoroid. A meteoroid जब अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर पे एंटर करता है, अगर वो completely burn up हो जाता है that becomes a that is what we call a meteor. But if it survives the entry to the atmosphere and reaches finally the Earth's surface, then it is called a meteorite. So basically, asteroids जो हैं they were formed at the same time as other objects of our solar system. So ये जो rocks आते हैं बाहर से like a meteoroid that is coming from outside is a part of the asteroid. So we can actually study these objects and get a lot of information about our solar system because they give scientists a lot of information about the history of the planets and the sun. So scientists can study meteorites and recently NASA has launched this OSIRIS-REx spacecraft to study an asteroid near Earth जिसका नाम है बेनू. ठीक है, इतना याद रखेंगे. नेक्स्ट पे. So next quick fact about where do we find tropical rainforests in India. Tropical rainforests in India are found in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the Western Ghats and the Greater Assam region, that is the Brahmaputra Valley region. We can see from the map here, Andaman and Nicobar का तो नहीं दिख रहा है because it's very tiny, but we find Andaman and Nicobar Islands में tropical rainforests रहते हैं. बाकी के ये areas में here the entire area, this area हैज डेसिडुअस फॉरेस्ट, ठीक है। इस एरिया में जो डार्क ग्रीन कलर में है, देयर वी हैव एवरग्रीन फॉरेस्ट, ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट. Actually, small remnants of the rainforests are also found in Odisha. So here we can see small remnants are found in Odisha as well. तो ये जो region है West Bengal Odisha वाला region, so there are small remnants of rainforest in Odisha and Western Ghats में जो monsoon forests जो होते हैं they occur on both sides. So let us say these are the Western Ghats. तो Western Ghats के इस तरफ दोनों तरफ जो है we get to see monsoon forests. What are the important trees found in these kind of forests? यहाँ पर we have mahogany, ebony and rosewood. So these are typical of tropical rainforests trees. Teak and Malabar Kino are deciduous trees. Okay, remember that teak and Malabar Kino क्या है? Deciduous trees हैं. Now the next fact is about ग्राम सभा. ग्राम सभा क्या है? ग्राम सभा हमने एक बहुत ही डिटेल्ड वीडियो बनाया है about the पंचायती राज institutions. You can check out our playlists. In that you will get the entire background. पर अभी के लिए जो the thing that we can remember as a revision point is that ग्राम सभा क्या है? ग्राम सभा is a meeting of all adults who live in an area that is covered by a पंचायत. तो village So all adults who live in this area of a panchayat form a part of the Gram Sabha. See, basically क्या होता है कि anyone who is more than 18 years has the right to vote. So anyone who is more than 18 years old and has the right to vote is a member of the Gram Sabha. So all voters are part of the Gram Sabha in a particular area of the panchayat, and ye adults also have the right to vote in Lok Sabha elections. So if there is a statement like anyone who is eligible to vote in Lok Sabha elections from a particular village can also vote in Gram Panchayat elections, it is true because wahi eligibility wahi hai. As far as voting is concerned, ठीक है, वोटिंग की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे. कंटेस्ट करने के लिए क्या चाहिए? तो लोकसभा व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट पंचायत में इलेक्शन कंटेस्ट करने के लिए, ठीक है, पंचायत में टू कंटेस्ट इलेक्शंस एट ऑल लेवल द मिनिमम एज लिमिट इज 21 ईयर्स. ये नोट कर लीजिएगा. लोकसभा में इसके कंपैरिजन में क्या है? लोकसभा में इट इज 25 ईयर्स इज द मिनिमम एज लिमिट टू कंटेस्ट फॉर द लोकसभा, दैट इज द एलिजिबिलिटी. राज्यसभा में कितना है? 30 ईयर्स. अब एक इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ये है नोट करने के लिए कि क्या ये एज लिमिट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में मेंशन्ड है? हाँ, मेंशन्ड है. आर्टिकल 84 अगर आप देखिएगा खोलकर तो वहां पर आपको मिल जाएगा ये एज लिमिट is this has been given in the constitution. So if there is a statement that the constitution prescribes or it is the age limit is the minimum age is given in the constitution for a Lok Sabha seat, Rajya Sabha seat, yes, it is given in the constitution. ठीक है, minimum age. अब पंचायत की बात अगर हम करें तो this is also given. If you see article 243 clause F, you will find this 21 years का mention है वहां पर. ठीक है, तो वोटिंग करने के लिए anyone who is above 18 can vote in the Gram Sabha. Anyone who has the right to vote is a member of the Gram Sabha, and so they can vote in the Gram Panchayat elections also, and the same age criteria is there for voting in the Lok Sabha elections. But participation के लिए अलग है, ठीक है. 21 years minimum age limit है for contesting elections for पंचायत. लोक सभा के लिए minimum 25, राज्यसभा के लिए 30 years. Fine. अब विलेज पंचायत की अगर हम बात करें तो एवरी पंचायत, हर विलेज पंचायत जो है क्या होता है, इज डिवाइडेड इनटू वार्ड. उसको छोटे छोटे एरियाज में डिवाइड कर दिया जाता है. हर वार्ड से एक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव जो है सिलेक्ट किया जाता है, एंड दिस पर्सन इज नोन एज द पंच, या फिर इसको कह सकते हैं वार्ड मेंबर. तो हर वार्ड से इस तरीके का एक पंच आता है, एंड दे टुगेदर all members of the Gram Sabha. So all members of the Gram Sabha also elect a सरपंच. ठीक है, सरपंच को इलेक्ट किया जाता है, एंड ये सब जो पंच हैं वो मिलकर द वार्ड पंच जिसको कहते हैं, जो यहाँ से इलेक्ट हुए हैं, दे फॉर्म द ग्राम पंचायत. ठीक है, ये मिलकर ग्राम पंचायत बनाते हैं, एंड ये वार्ड पंच एंड सरपंच मिलकर ग्राम पंचायत they constitute the gram panchayat elect hota hai 5-year term ke liye. So these are certain facts that we can remember. Next fact is this, it's important. Remember that this global infrastructure facility एक initiative है by G20. Remember this fact. Global infrastructure facility G20 का initiative है. It is not an initiative of World Bank or any other such organization. ठीक है, तो अगर एक statement दिया है this is global infrastructure facility is an initiative of World Bank, no, global infrastructure facility is an initiative of G20. So quickly, इसका aim क्या है? See, its aim, as the name suggests, infrastructure. So it is to boost it is to boost private investment in quality infrastructure projects that are sustainable and in which places? In developing countries. So ये developing countries में it is a platform so that investment efforts can take place to boost private investment in quality infrastructure projects. Simple. रिसेंटली एक चीज हुई है दैट इज द एशियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बैंक, जिसके बारे में और कभी देखेंगे, बट द एशियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक हैज जॉइंड द ग्लोबल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फैसिलिटी. इट हैज बिकम अ टेक्निकल पार्टनर. रिमेंबर दिस. So if there is a statement like AIIB has recently joined the GIF, that is correct. In the sense that it has come into a partnership, it has become a technical partner of the global infrastructure facility. देखिए, डिस्कस करने के लिए तो बहुत कुछ डिस्कस किया जा सकता है अबाउट इट, बट हम प्रीलिम्स के पर्सपेक्टिव से कर रहे हैं. हम वी आर डिस्कसिंग जस्ट एज मच एज इज रिक्वायर्ड. ठीक है, ऐसे अदरवाइज इट कैन बी एन एंडलेस डिस्कशन ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक. अब नेक्स्ट एगमॉन्ट ग्रुप की बात करते हैं. तो क्विकली, वेरी क्विकली वील सी रेलेवेंट. एगमॉन्ट से रिलेटेड एक ही चीज जानने की जरूरत है, या एक दो चीजें हैं. देखिए, एगमॉन्ट ग्रुप क्या है? इट इज अ यूनाइटेड बॉडी ऑफ सेवरल फाइनेंशियल इंटेलिजेंस यूनिट्स. ठीक है, फाइनेंशियल इंटेलिजेंस 166 फाइनेंशियल इंटेलिजेंस यूनिट्स का एक ग्रुप है. तो बेसिकली इसमें क्या करते हैं? दिस प्रोवाइड्स अ प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर exchanging of expertise, of exchanging financial intelligence. क्यों? ताकि फाइनेंशियल इंटेलिजेंस यूनिट्स, इनका काम क्या है? ताकि दे कैन कॉम्बैट मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग, टेररिस्ट फाइनेंसिंग, इन सबको कॉम्बैट करने के लिए है. तो ये जो एगमॉन्ट ग्रुप है, दिस सपोर्ट्स इंटरनेशनल पार्टनर्स एंड जो बाकी स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं इसके अंदर. They give effect, and these people, they give effect to the resolutions of the UNSC, that is the UN Security Council, and then there is this FATF. So this supports the effort. So Egmont Group supports the effort, and G20 ko bhi it supports. But it is a group of 166 financial intelligence units. And India क्या है? India is a member? Yes, India is a member of this Egmont group. This is important. Remember this. Next. इसमें इतना ही जानने की जरूरत है अभी के लिए. So next we talk about Polaris. Polaris, very quickly. This is from basics from NCERT. So basically जो sun है and most of the stars, what they do is they change their position in the sky over time. But कुछ स्टार्स ऐसे होते हैं जो that appear to be in the same place. एक एग्जाम्पल इसका है पोलारिस, जिसको बुलाया जाता है also नॉर्थ स्टार, which appears always to be sitting overhead the North Pole. So if this is your North Pole, it always appears to be sitting directly overhead the North Pole. बाकी stars का जो position है change होता रहता है, कभी यहाँ रहते हैं cluster of stars and they'll be here after a while. The sun changes its position in the sky over time. But Polaris या फिर जो North Star है, that always appears to be directly overhead the North Pole. अब एक और चीज यहाँ पर ये है कि इस पोलारिस को यूज करके हम अपना लैटिट्यूड फाइंड कर It turns out that the latitude is the angle at which the Polaris appears to sit above the horizon. In the sense, इससे यहाँ से समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. So let us say Polaris, ये North Pole है हमारा, इसके directly overhead is the Polaris. Now So if you take this parallel line, if you make a parallel line, तो ये जो horizon होगा, the horizon at this particular latitude, let's say हम 20 डिग्री latitude पे हैं, यहाँ पर ये वाला line जो है that is the horizon. ठीक है, अब यहाँ से we will be able to, if we find the angle that this horizon makes with this line of the Polaris, यहाँ से हमें Polaris यहाँ दिखेगा, it will be at this. So we'll be able to find the latitude of this, because if we compute from here, actually latitude तो ये वाला है 20 degrees here, but in this when we compute, this turns out that this is the same as the latitude. ये 90 degrees हो जाएगा, this will be 70, ये भी 70, so this will be 20 degrees. So two important things that we can remember here: Polaris always appears to be sitting directly overhead the North Pole, and for observers who are in the northern hemisphere, ऐसा appear होता है, it may appear that their latitude is at an angle at which the Polaris appears to sit above the horizon, ये वाला angle. सो एंशिएंट टाइम से ये नॉर्थ स्टार के एडवांटेजेस लोगों को पता है. दे टू मेन एडवांटेजेस है. एक तो एकदम एक्यूरेट नॉर्थ का डायरेक्शन यू कैन से यूजिंग दिस नॉर्थ स्टार. ठीक है, you can tell the accurate the direction of the accurate north. Secondly, you can easily tell your geographical latitude using this north star like this, right? So इसके दो uses हैं. Next one is about Nipun. Okay, very quickly we'll see only what is important from here. अब ये Nipun basically Nipun जो है, we'll remember it as Nipun. इसका full form तो बहुत बड़ा है, National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading and Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. So remember this Nipun for questions. अब basically यहाँ पर see the keywords are this. Reading and reading with understanding and numeracy. Basically, reading and numeracy are the keywords here. We have to know only how much is. We have to just see the key points, and यहाँ पर key points ये हैं कि important points here that we have to note is, see, this is a program. This is a national mission that has been launched under the centrally sponsored scheme Samagra Shiksha. So it comes under the Samagra Shiksha program. Okay, so this national mission has been launched under the aegis of the centrally sponsored scheme Samagra Shiksha. Remember this. Now, this will ensure that every child in India necessarily attains foundational literacy. हर child को एक foundational literacy मिलनी चाहिए, and numeracy by the end of grade 3. So remember this grade 3. So not any other grade, not upper grades, not grade 7 or anything. It is grade 3, right? So it will ensure that every child in India attains foundational literacy and numeracy by the year 2026-27. अब ये जो age group यहाँ पर ये cover करने वाला है, that is 3 to 9 years, not any higher age group. It is not 3 to 12 or anything. It is 3 to 9. So remember this. Then remember this grade 3, and then remember the Samagra Shiksha. इसके एम्स क्या है? रिमेंबर दीज. इसके नाम से निपुण इज बेसिकली फॉर प्रोफिशिएंसी इन रीडिंग एंड न्यूमरेसी. फाउंडेशनल लिटरेसी जो है बच्चों में वो आ जानी चाहिए. दैट इज द मेन मिशन. Also, we can just skim through this, but we don't have to go into that much detail. We have एक idea होना चाहिए, so that when a question comes, we will be able to understand. बहुत सारी चीजें general होती हैं. We can understand from the statement once we skim through that, yeah, this is right. As far as especially with objectives, because if we sit to read objectives, तो बहुत बड़े objectives रहते हैं, so then we get lost. But we have to just understand the crux. ठीक है. So यहाँ पर basically this scheme will provide access and it will retain children in the foundational years of schooling. हर child का progress track होगा and in achieving learning outcomes, teacher capacity building होगा इसमें. There would be development of high quality diversified student teacher resources, learning materials का high quality development होगा. So these are all very general objectives that we can, once we go through, we'll be able to we'll just understand कि क्या है. The important things that we have to remember, one is grade 3. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि by the end of grade 3 the idea is to achieve foundational literacy and numeracy. That is one point. Second point that we have to remember is age group 3 to 9 age है. It is not like if there is an option, a statement saying it is from 4 to 15 years or something like that. No, it's not. So it's 3 to 9. Okay, and it comes under the Samagra Shiksha scheme. Samagra Shiksha scheme. And the Samagra Shiksha scheme is a centrally sponsored scheme. So these three things we have to remember. Baaki तो we can just skim through. So इस scheme में basically कुछ targets हैं, लक्ष्य सूचीज और targets that exist, and some things like that. And see, now there is a special package for foundational literacy and numeracy under Nishtha being developed by NCERT. अब इसमें 25 लाख टीचर्स जो हैं प्री प्राइमरी से प्राइमरी के लेवल पर उनको ट्रेनिंग दिया जाएगा ऑन दिस फाउंडेशनल literacy and numeracy. So this is what, इससे ज़्यादा we don't have to know. In fact, some details are extra additional. We have to just remember the points that were highlighted earlier. Now the next topic is the Competition Commission of India. Very quickly, what we have to know about this Competition Commission of India that we will see. Competition Commission of India या फिर CCI जो है ये establish किया गया था under the Competition Act of 2002. For what? For administration, implementation and enforcement of this Competition Act of 2002. इसका ड्यूटी क्या है, इसका काम क्या है? Competition Commission of India का CCI का काम, इसका काम है कि कंपटीशन जो है मार्केट में, उस कंपटीशन पर होने वाले जो नेगेटिव इफेक्ट्स हैं उसको एलिमिनेट करना. So its duty is to eliminate practices that have an adverse effect on competition. So if there are certain practices that affect competition, उसको eliminate करने का काम CCI का है. Competition where? Competition in the market. And then its job is to, its duty is to sustain competition. जितना ज़्यादा competition रहेगा उतना ज़्यादा choice रहेगा buyers के पास, उतना जो price है वो competitive रहेगा, and no one company will be able to exploit the buyers, right? So promote and sustain. So the job is to promote and sustain competition, and then it protects the interests of the consumers, and then it ensures the freedom of trade in the markets of India. Freedom of trade को ensure करना भी इसका एक काम है Indian market में. Okay, so this इतना ही जानने की basically जरूरत है यहाँ पर. इसके अलावा कमीशन को अगर कोई ऐसी अथॉरिटी है, कोई स्टैट्यूटरी अथॉरिटी है जो कमीशन से ओपिनियन मांगे अबाउट कंपटीशन रिलेटेड मैटर्स या ऑन कंपटीशन इश्यूज, देन इन दैट केस द कंपटीशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया हैज टू गिव इट्स ओपिनियन. उसके अलावा कंपटीशन के बारे में एडवोकेट करना, उसके बारे में पब्लिक अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करना, ट्रेनिंग इम्पार्ट करना, ये सब इसका काम है कंपटीशन CCI का, राइट. अब वेरी क्विकली अबाउट दिस कंपटीशन एक्ट. कंपटीशन एक्ट जो है ये पास हुआ था इन 2002. इससे पहले एक एक्ट हुआ करता था जिसका नाम है मोनोपोलीज एंड रिस्ट्रिक्टिव ट्रेड प्रैक्टिसेस एक्ट ऑफ 1969, दैट इज द MRTP एक्ट. This existed, but this was repealed, and this was later replaced by the Competition Act of 2002 on the recommendations of, remember this, Raghavan Committee. Raghavan Committee के recommendations पर CCI आया था. So what is it? What is the takeaway from here? The takeaway is there can be a question about that might wherein there might be statements about the duty of the CCI. So we have understood इसका major काम क्या है. Basically, just understand the intent of this or this particular commission, or then you'll be able to solve the questions. And then Raghavan Committee, remember, was the one that recommended this Competition Act of 2002. Yeah, so basically ये news में था recently, this because it had detailed not very recently, but yeah, somewhere around June end last year it was in news, because CCI जो है it ordered a detailed probe against Google for certain anti-competitive practices. We don't have to go into that much detail of that particular case. We have to understand the background, that is CCI ka, that we have seen. So with this we would एंड दिस डिस्कशन, बाकी का नेक्स्ट वन।